Again, I'll go through the time I was shot, 5 to 12, 17th of April 1973, by paratroopers. I was only at Long Couch 10 days. So it was, and we were all, there was me, Eamon McAuley, Patsy McKinney, Fat Fennell, Brian Smith, Barney Coney, Tony McCloverty. I think Sammy Clark was there.
Was it part of internment or?
No, what we were doing was collecting for the prisoners.
Right, okay.
You know, going to people's stores, would you have a tin of peas?
Yes.
A tin of spaghetti or...
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, we were collecting to build things up for... And the paratroopers were sitting in the house next to us. Now, the woman that lived next door to him was Gillespie. And she knew they were there. She was giving them tea and biscuits at night time while they were watching us. They were in that house for a week and decided to open up. We had no guns. Nobody had a gun. All we had was tins. And from point blank range, they shot Brian Smith dead. They shot Fat Fennell in the leg. He ran up Hay Gardens, empty. And Frankie Donnelly's aunt, which was a nun, put her body over Pat Fennell, and the paratrooper kicked her in the head and shot Fennell in the back of the head. He was the first ever to get Concord plate in his head. So
and that was maybe the start of the shoot to kill?
That was the start of the shoot to kill, yeah. We went to court.
And you were shot?
Shot in the stomach. I had 4 bowel operations at a colostomy bag to go to the toilet. I was terrible.
You still have it this day?
No.
Oh, so we were the wound, yeah.
So
wow. Still, look at that, goodness.
But look at it. It's a cross.
Yeah, so it is.
I think Ardoynes was talking to me.
Ah, so it is.
Do you think so? Change your behaviour.
Look at that. So, that affected you deeply?
Oh, it did. You know, I went to court. I was charged with having a rifle. Got acquitted. Eamon McAuley got 14 years. 7 years for possession, 7 years for intent. Intent means you have bullets in the gun. I didn't even find a gun. So why they give him 14 years, I don't know. And then, amazingly, a paratrooper was put in the brig, which is the army cells, by the paratroopers, and he was allowed one phone call. And he phoned the Daily Mirror and told the Daily Mirror that he was ordered by Captain Burke, who was made a major.
I remember Captain Burke, Major Burke, yeah.
He became a major after he shot me. He got promoted after he shot me. He ordered him to shoot unarmed men at Etna Drive, 5 to 12, 1973, April. And Eamon McAuley got a retrial, and the case was through out of court. The powers were never charged.
No.
So it was one of the first.
Sure, they couldn't get a power to beat my dad. They flew one in.
I remember when your dad knocked him out.
Aye, they flew one in from Germany, a boxing champion.
Aye.
Yeah, that's hard to believe.
But the old star.
Yeah, absolutely, down in Butler Street.
Remember my dad talking about it. I wasn't there, but I remember my dad talking about it.
That's hard to believe. They couldn't get one to beat him, so they flew a boxing champion in from Germany.
And they had knuckle duster on.
Knuckle duster, that's right. Yes, that's right. Nobody would believe us. Yes, you think I knew.
He cut the tape out of your dad. This is what
that's right, yep.
For about half an hour.
Right.
And your dad had him, broke his jaw, fractured his collarbone, so that and broke his leg from a one punch.
Yeah.
That's what my dad told me.
Yeah. I think he Judas my dad with a knuckle duster. But when my dad done him, the knuckle duster fell to the ground. That's how I knew he had a knuckle duster.
My dad talked to him. My dad was a great friend of your father's.
And after that, the Paras, and Burke was involved. I remember Burke, but after that, the Paras left him alone. They respected him, revered him even. Yeah. So what age were you then when you packed it?
15, 16.
15. And what year would that have been?
69.
So yeah, the Troubles had a big, had affected you so much that you couldn't even get down to Donegal Street, but I suppose St Gabriel's might have been your better option then. What year did your father die,
1974.
Are you comfortable enough talking about that?
Yeah, not a problem.
Yeah, well, obviously that, that was a big thing.
Sat dead in the bus going to work.
Yeah.
Worked all his life.
Yeah.
So he did.
Along with that fella Stitt.
Yeah, that's him I feel sorry for, because my father got shot from behind. He was at the back of the bus. George Stitt was at the front of the bus. He tried to hide under the seat.
Was it outside Holy Cross Chapel?
No.
No, that was Pat Crossan, I think.
St Mary's Chapel.
St Mary's.
St Mary's Church on the Crumlin Road.
But you were saying you were just trying to get over it, and you were re-traumatised again when one of the newspapers. Talk to me about that. And I remember that. I've seen that photo, and that's a horrific photo.
Yeah. Well, it was the book UDA, Inside the Heart for UDA, and they bought the photograph of my father, which they used the JCB to lift the photographer up to take a photograph of my father on the bus.
The two of them were just lying dead on the bus. I've seen it's horrific.
Yeah. And the Belfast Telegraph sold it for 39p.
Yeah.
So
Never consulted Jews, never sought permission, or never.
No. So
and you says that sent you back, that re-traumatised, that
yeah.
sent you backwards so much.
Yeah. But I started a petition, and that's it over there.
Yeah.
That I wanted to remember my father as I remembered him, not as what the media portrayed him.
Yeah. You had a sort of breakdown over that. Yeah.
Well, I found at the end of the day we got a deal from the Belfast Telegraph that they told us they would never ever sell a photograph again of anybody unless they asked the family's permission. So to me, that covered everybody in Northern Ireland, whether you be a UDR soldier,
Right.
a policeman, an IRA man or civilian or whatever, UDA. There was no mutilated bodies photographs going to be released unless the families were asked first.
You said to me something, if I remember speaking to you a lot of years ago, about his clothes or something that come back. I was go ahead, yeah, I'm right, aren't I?
Yeah, I had its clothes and I put them underneath the bed. And I didn't realise, I couldn't throw the clothes out. But I didn't tell my own brother or my own sister was there. But my own sister found them and stuck them out. And my father's brain was sitting on his lapel. And my own sister, in the book, Ardoynes, the Untold Story, states that this was the last thought that my dad had in his head. Now he's sitting on his lapel. So after that, I burnt him.
Ended up being a boxing coach. You came back to the boxing game as a coach.
Went to Newton.
Right. And I remember you there, yes, I remember you there, and you were well loved and well respected by everybody. But you had a great wee team at the Dockers.
Yes.
Paddy Mowbray, Eamon Brannigan, Richard Brannigan, Ronnie Bowe. Talk to me of Stephen McCluskey. I mean, wow, real precocious kids, really waiting for them to come through and make their mark.
Yeah, I had a great juvenile youth team. You know, I mean, Terry Kelly, him and Jay McManus from McAuley had all sorts of bouts, Ulster finals, All-Ireland finals, so that Richard Brannigan, he had a 6-fight marathon with O'Sullivan from Cork, and Richard only beat him once, and it was in the All-Irons. But I told Richard, every time he beats you, see, next time he's in the stadium, sit behind him. See if he goes to the toilet, go to the toilet. See, no matter where he goes, you better go. And that's Richard got into his head. This kid hadn't been beaten 7 years.
Southpaw Richard, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he's a clever operator, yeah.
Ronnie Bowe backs for...
wow, what a fighter he was.
He backs for White City.
Yeah.
And the coach in White City asked me to take him to Dublin. Now, I took Ronnie on the pads, he hit me 4 times.
Right.
Within a 10-second burst. And I says, what are you doing? Never used them before.
Wow.
I says, well, next time you hit me, I'm going to hit you. He never hit me again.
Yeah.
So
he was very, I think he was a southpaw too. He was very, very special.
He went to the Daily Star, British title, and Paul Carson was with him. And
Right.
Paul Carson raved about him like a moment. Knocked the fella out in the final.
Right.
Raved about him.
But you had a great rapport with all them young lads that really respected you and looked up. Paddy Fitzsimmons had the seniors, but these were all young lads, youth coming through.
Yeah.
And you were in charge of all them. It's really precocious bunch of lads.
But Brendan Devane was my first Irish champion. Richard was Irish champion, Gaelic Games champion, Ronnie Bowe was Irish champion, Daily Star champion, Terry Kelly, Ulster champion, beating All-Ireland finalists. These were a great bunch of kids. We lad Lee from the Shore Road, he joined too.
I remember being there. I come down for a month. I was boxing professional, and I was there for a month at your club, and I loved it. I loved the camaraderie. I loved the kids, and we went up to Holy Trinity one night.
Yeah.
To spar. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. I actually spoke to you last night about the gloves.
Yeah. That was a very good point.
How cute Mickey was, and Paddy couldn't see it. You know what I mean? Damien Kelly was terrified, Eamon Brannigan. So they went up there, and Mickey puts the big gloves on. And the big gloves on Eamon. So Damien Kelly couldn't feel his back. So the fear left him. You know what I mean? And Mickey's a good
Mickey's cute, he's very clever.
He knows what he's doing. He's not doing that for the have a wee spar. He's watching your boxers. And Paddy says to me, I'm bringing up Ronnie Bowe and Patrick Mowbray. And I says, no, he's not getting near Mickey Hawkins.
Right.
So he's not under any circumstances. You pick a handful of clubs who were the champions? You had McAuley, Holy Trinity, the Daggers, Twinbrook. Who
Yeah.
else got a name?
St Agnes, yeah, all
But I'm talking, Holy Family, if I come up against our boxers, I knew my kids were on fight. Because they were the same level of fitness as what my kids were.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not
Yeah.
talking about skill now, I'm talking about levels of fitness.
Uh-huh.
Right? These kids that I trained, the level of fitness was up there. You had or Twinbrook, you had the McAuley, you had Holy Family. I'm not trying to disrespect any other club because
Right,
I mightn't just remember,
Yeah.
right? But everybody had a level. And I knew if I was fighting some kids from some other clubs, they wouldn't have been at the level where mine was.
Right.
So if I was fighting somebody in McAuley, I was always weary.
Yeah.
And I made the kids weary. But they learn kids boxing.
But I remember going up that night to the Holy Trinity,
You said Andy Fisher.
and we done a bit of damage that night. We come back with big smiles on our faces.
Well, I turned around to Paddy and I was beginning of round 2. And I said, Paddy, Mickey Hawkins was watching it. And I says to Paddy, will you get in that ring and start that fight? I says, Eamon's going to kill him. He's going to kill him.
Yeah, I give
So
him a
is-
bit of a going over.
I
Yeah.
couldn't believe that Mickey Hawkins had it going. I couldn't, like.
But so you got into the coaching then. You got into the masseur. How did you get into that?
I'd done a casino weekend.
Right.
And it's in 84. And a couple of years later, I was working on it.
Yeah.
And there was a
Lanark
man,
Walk.
yeah, there was a man called Dan Turley.
Dan Turley, I know him well. Great man.
I had done the Knock Walk 1 year. There was no medical team. There was me and Ann Nesbitt.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Right.
And
From humble beginnings, and look at it now.
I met Donny. Donny came down to me. I was treating somebody. And Donny says to me, you need to go a wee bit higher. I remember this is a religious weekend and I'm as a religious leader.
Yes.
Right? So I says, who are you? He says, I'm a physio. I says, oh, I know. Ben Meehan's told me you're fucking physios. That's just what I said to him.
Right.
And he looked at me. He says, I am a physio.
And he's a cracker too.
He says, I told you I've told Ben Meehan have told me you're physios. I says,
Yeah.
where do you work? The Ulster Hospital. I know, but what do you work at? Call him a porter.
Right.
What do you work at? Physiotherapist. My head was up. I had eventually met a qualified, chartered
Yeah.
physiotherapist.
Yeah.
Not these people who was fighting a football pitch
Right.
in the bone or whatever,
Uh-huh.
pretending they're physio. Somebody needs to go to university, pass all their qualifications. That's
Well, I remember 8 years ago I was on the walk and you looked after me, but you used this duck semen. And I says, Jackie, I'm vegetarian, don't be using that. Never mind that. Where did you extract it from?
You see,
Is that what it was? And what is Fairy Jack?
Fairy Jack. You can't get that anymore. That's
But listen, before we go to that,
European Union
you worked for Armagh.
yeah, well, Danny brought me the Armagh.
Oh, was it Don Turley brought you the Armagh? Okay.
I met Brian McAuley, and for the first year I worked for nothing. So that, and the second year I asked them to pay me, and they paid me.
Well, you were part of the most successful Armagh team ever.
Yeah, and it's just a pity Danny left the year before,
Ah, right, did I?
so he wasn't there.
I'll wind him up about that the next time I see him. But talk to me about winning the Sam Maguire, what that was like, being part of that team.
The professionalism was the same as professional boxing. It started off with Brian McAuley with 2 semi-final All-Irons, 2 Ulster titles, 2 semi-finals All-Irons were beaten on both. Or a kick of a ball, that's all it was, a kick of a ball. Twice we were beaten. Joe Garnon come along, took us away to the manga for a week, solid training. And I took a night and day, this never stopped. For 7 days, we had to work. But see the bunch of lads that you were with, and the respect you got from the lads, it made you so happy. Because they were treating you like a star. And all these players were all stars.
Yeah, I remember seeing you on TV quite a few times.
These were all stars.
Yeah.
And they're treating me like a king.
Yeah.
Think about it. See, all these people are at the top of their game and they treat you like a king.
Right.
So I'm so lucky.
So a great time in your life.
Well, they took me to La Manga, Lanzarote, San Francisco, Las Vegas, San Diego, Mauritius,
Wow.
Thailand.
Serious? Wow.
All flights paid.
Yeah.
Now, if that's not showing back for the work you have with us, that's how much we appreciate it.
Right.
I remember Gene Duffy said to us one time, me and Donny, and he says, we should do glum. No, Jordith Burns made a statement before the match about sending the other ones back to their slums. And me and Don sort of took a needle, right? But Charles White's from Ardoynes.
Yeah.
And Dean Duffy said to us about it, and I says, well, sure, we're not from Armagh, we're from Alton. He says, no, you are adopted Armagh players.
Right.
You've been adopted, so you have.
Well, Sealanach Walk, it's right up there with one of the most beautiful things I ever done. It's just absolutely wonderful. It's designed by God, I think. Everything's integral. The rubbers, the walkers, the food people, the music people, music ministry, they're all cogs in the wheel. And if one cog doesn't work, the whole wheel doesn't work. Yeah. And I done it last year, and they walked from the four corners of Ireland. And there was a handful or maybe a dozen masseurs on it now, but you're saying to me you were at that time when you done it all them years ago, 20 odd years ago, there was only you and Ann Nesbitt.
That's it.
Well, it's fairly grew, and it is so wonderful now. As I say, it's up there with the most beautiful things I ever done.
From my knock walk, the first one, I made myself a promise. I will build a medical team, and I built that medical team. That medical team that treats them now, that was me.
Top notch, absolutely top class.
I built that. I built that. And Don Turley come along and made it even more special.
Right.
Because he could do, where I could do the
But it was you who brought Dan along?
Yes, I coaxed Don to do it.
Yeah, Dan's a lovely man. So he loves it. It's just absolutely wonderful.
He could deal with the main injuries, where the rest of us could do the rubbing.
Yeah.
We didn't have to go to Don for the rubs. Don could turn and say, go there, go there.
Because you're unbelievably busy. Listen, everybody, there's no lame ducks. Everybody works their socks off in that knock walk. It is unbelievable. People don't stop.
People ask me why I done the knock walk. And I turned around and I said, see them, they're my rosary beads. Right? See every link in that rosary bead. That's something I've rubbed. Or maybe two people I've rubbed. And see, the more links I get in my rosary beads, the closer I get to Christ, the closer I get to Our Lady. And my request for maybe a bit of healing or a bit of comfort may be heard. So the more people I treated was the more links I got. So the harder I worked, the more joy came into my life for to get my message through to Jesus and to get my message through to Our Lady.
Yeah, amen. Jackie, it's an absolute honour and a pleasure and a privilege to come up here today and listen to your wee story. You're a man of many parts, and I just want to say thank you for letting me interview you. God bless you, Jackie. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Eamon. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Good morning. How you doing? Steve McCluskey here. I just want to say a wee bit about Jackie Meehan. Back in 1988, we were down at the All Ireland at the All Ireland's boxing for the under-18s, and we were staying in Barry's Hotel. Jackie was there, and Jackie was a great inspiration in my life and in the life of the Daggers. And he had a way of doing things. So he was very, very good. And I will always honour Jackie. And Jackie Meehan played a big part in my life. And I thank you, Jackie, if you're watching this.
And as well as being a lovely man, he was a great coach.
Oh, he was a great coach. So he was. He had his way in the gym at doing the squats and the exercises and the pods and stuff.
There you are. See you in this photo now. Yeah, this is the Armagh team that won the Sam Maguire.
That's right over there.
Yeah. There you are there.
Julie Davis.
Yeah.
John McCluskey.
Probably the most successful Armagh team ever.
It is the most successful.
And they won the Sam Maguire, they won the All Ireland that year, and you were the masseur for them. I remember well.
I was with them from Donny brought me.
And there's Jackie with his children and grandchildren. It's a lovely photo with a Sam Maguire. No, it's not the Sam Maguire. What is that one?
That is Sam Maguire.
That is the Sam Maguire. Never read my life. Lovely, lovely photos. Ulster Champions 2004.
There as well, and that's the Ulster Championship.
Right.
So
Right.
yes.